Good afternoon, Speed Gaming, and welcome to the Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament 2019. My name is Lord Fizzlebeef, and joining me in the booth today is Falconic. And Falconic, I have one question for you. Why are our co-op partners cheating on us?
Because we're not good enough for them anymore. I don't know. That's going to be a good match, though. Willcleosis, fan of the Bane strats. Obviously, Tarnin, very mental player. Somebody who is very methodical, doesn't do anything by mistake. I think this one's going to be fun. You're going to see somebody that plays it by ear versus somebody that plays it literally step by step. Everything is calculated. So you couldn't have total opposites. Any more total opposites than we have today.
Joining us also in the booth is the Baroness herself, Lyra. How you doing today, Lyra?
I am wonderful, and I hope you all are as well. This is actually going to be a super exciting match between these two. Very, very 50-50 crowd here, as there's some diehard Will fans, and there's definitely some diehard Tarnin fans that don't get as much love as everyone else does.
Alright, and looking at these parties, they're almost the same, but there's one pivotal difference. Tarnin's got double fighter, double red, whereas Will is going with single fighter, triple red. Lyra, what do you think of that?
I think that's pretty spicy. There's a lot of magic here, a lot of crowd control, a lot of clearing. That's going to be some high volume later on. Not as many things to wield swords, though, but generally you tend to bank on the fighter for that kind of stuff anyways.
I think on this one, if temper or fast rolls low, like within 1 to 4, I think Tarnin gets the edge. If it rolls outside of that and say like nuke or fade goes 1 through 4, Will has the edge.
That's kind of where I'm landing on this as well. If we have an early nuke or level 4 fade, because if fade's 1 through 3, then Tarnin is also going to get that third fade caster, albeit with a lot less charges. So if we get nuke or fade that's red mage attainable but not knight attainable, this could get real interesting real fast.
Well, we will see. Willcleosis again with the Bane strats last week. Is he going to pull out something like that this week? I'm going to go ahead and call. I think the seed is going to roll friendly. I think it's going to be an easier Topher. And I think that might be a point towards Willcleosis' favor. Tarnin, he's the tortoise in the hare. He's the one that prepares, that takes his time, makes sure he's ready to dive. Will sometimes goes the gamble route, and if he chooses to gamble Topher, and I'm right about it being a weak Topher, it's going to pay off pretty big. So we're going to have to see who adjusts their strategy towards their opponent that they're facing.
All I hope is that Bane retains its true 3 and 256 strats and isn't, I don't know, 50-50 that it seemed to be so far.
I love that 1% rule, except, yeah, not 1%.
Looks like we are about to be starting the race here, so we're going to find out real soon if the magic's going to work out in Will's favor, if it's going to work out in Tarnin's favor.
What are we hoping to see out of King and Princess? Are we hoping for the good old ship floater, or are we hoping for something nasty like slab bottle?
I like slab bottle. That sounds really dirty, but here we go.
Slab bottle could be fun. I certainly don't want what we had in Moist Race earlier, where it was canoe and floater. So anything other than that, I think I'm good with. So the gates have been dropped. We should be starting here shortly. And we'll see how the magic lays out. Of course, Will, he's going to go with the Vorpal if he finds it. Tarnin, I'm sure, is going to put the Vorpal on somebody. I mean, everyone in the party can use it.
If he chooses to. Oh, here we go. Let's see what we got. Weapon shop. We got silver swords for 1500. That's nice. White magic. We got gear 3. That's fine. Black magic. We've got lit 3 and warp.
That's not bad.
My marsh senses are tingling already.
Woo!
Ric
Flair's happy somewhere. Yeah, lit 3 and warp. Plus cure 3. I mean, it could be worse.
And what do we got in the armor shop? Iron armor. And silver bracelets if we can find a big bag of money somewhere. This is a real good Canaria. I like it.
Yeah, the early advantage goes towards Will, I think, right, Larry?
I definitely think, yeah, with the equipment and spell slots, there's definitely more of an edge there since it's only silver equipment and not gold equipment.
Will's headed in a wonky direction. Is he heading east out of the gate?
I think he is. I think he's going to make the gamble that.
What in the world?
Well, no,
Oh.
he's just getting the bridge out of the way. Okay, weird,
Okay.
strange. I wouldn't do it, but all right.
So I've
If
been
we're
seeing-
already looking for levels out of the gate, I can see doing that as kind of just like a multitasking thing because we're already like moving back and forth trying to get imps or whatever. If we tag the bridge while we're at it, that saves us a headache later just in case we get over the bridge and then die to something that's over there. So we really only have to see that bridge cutscene once.
Saves a cabin at least, and cabins at 310 are not the cheapest things in the world. So yeah, I like it. I like the play.
Definitely something I've been seeing Will do a lot lately is that early bridge cutscene drop. So that was really veteran moves.
Veteran move. What's that?
Unrunnable mad ponies. I can think of worse things to be unrunnable, but it's still annoying this early in the game when we only have so many spell charges.
Mm-hmm.
Imps with poison touch, not buying many pure potions. That's actually going to be a little bit painful.
Yeah,
more
rarely do I
annoying.
see people get pure potions before TOF.
Hey, rune sword's not bad to start off with.
We could probably sell it for something.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could swing it, but with 3 lit 3s over on Will's side and at least 2 on Tarnin's, that's money.
What's all this money then?
Really want this is a party you want to get geared out of the gate because if we can somehow afford 4 silver swords and the iron armor, maybe some silver bracelets if we have leftover cash, that is a really well-armed party for Marsh Cave, but the chances of that happening are so low. And we got Adamant out of the king, and we got Oxyl out of the princess. Oh boy,
Woo!
my Onrak Provoca senses are tingling.
Yeah, if you see Onrak, what are the chances that Will does a level 6 mermaid dive like last year?
We've got Warp and we've got Lit 3. I would say high.
Yeah, even just dipping your face in there to get a few levels off the first couple squares.
Right.
I would say those chances are over 9,000.
Yeah, I can't see Will not doing a mermaid's dive in that case. It'll be interesting to see where Tarnin goes.
So the game gave you Adamant, and I think in these flags, if anything points you over towards Dwarf, you kind of have to go there, because if it gives you like the ship, or God forbid like the crystal, and you decided to go right first, and then you go left, and then you got to go back right, it's just such a time sink.
Sure. I don't like the Provoca check ordinarily, but I carve out a couple of exceptions to that rule, and those exceptions are if we have something that interacts with towns so that we're a little more interested in just Provoca and Crescent Isle, then I endorse doing the Crescent Island check. And we've got Oxyl, and that interacts with Onrak. So I think I would actually make the Provoca check over Adamant Turn-In in this case.
I mean, we'll see. There's just as much of a chance that Adamant leads to like Rod or Tail or something non-incentive, but on the off chance that it gives you ship or crystal, it
Right.
feels really bad to have to double back and forth. But
Tarnin is holding on to all of his cash. That's interesting.
I think he wants to make sure he can afford magic or gear wherever he goes, whatever town he finds.
But if it's late though, then it's all that money for.
Silver bracelets, maybe? Go back to... I don't know if you'd spend your money on those just yet, but it's better than what you have now.
So we've got red mages, which means we really, really want to see chain armor, because chain armor to silver bracelet is kind of a lateral move. Sure, we free up a ton of dodge, but, you know, silver bracelets are $1,200 versus chain armor that's like $20. We'll see what Provoca is shortly. Will gets there first, and it's Toga Town.
Oh, no.
Well, it's head the other direction immediately.
All right. Well, I like what Will did here, and you see a lot of runners do this. You save really, really close to either Matoya, or just past the bridge. You do the check. If it's good, great. If it's not, just reset. And Tarnin didn't do that? Nope, he's walking it back.
No, he did not pick up any save items headed out of Canaria. I think he wanted to take all the fights headed this way to try and pad his early levels. But he meets Wolves with Glance. That's not good.
Oh no, this is such a crazy early game monster.
It's weird seeing this from Tarnin. He's very calculated. This seems like an early gamble on him to just hope that something along the way wouldn't have wiped him.
With those poison touch imps, though, things go south really quick. It's a possibility. Both of them are poison now, too.
Given that we started with Lightning 3, I don't think it's that big of a gamble, because sure, there might be some enemy packs that it's like a shootout situation, like whoever draws their AoE first wins, but Lightning, nothing is not going to die to Lightning 3 in this early area. So as long as one of the two casters get it off, it's kind of safe.
Stocking up on pure potions, definitely the right play in this scenario.
He's loading up. I think he's planning on Marsh. Of course, after the dwarf check, of course.
900 gold softs feels really bad when you've already seen an enemy that can stone you.
Yep.
Especially when the seed only gave you 10k to start off with, that money doesn't go very far.
And out of dwarf, we got a white shirt and a power
money.
staff.
Money, money, money.
Hooray!
Hooray!
And a crown.
And a
That's
crown.
convenient. And you got light 3, so Astos won't be an issue whatsoever.
No. He'll fall to 2 of those tops.
The linearity of this stage is guiding us straight into Marsh, possibly.
I hope this is something... Oh, back up we go. I was going to say, I hope it's something that leads us towards Marsh. I want to see Marsh early.
Everyone loves the good old triple dip a dwarf cave. First with adamant, second with TNT, finally with key. It's great. Everyone loves it.
At least it's a pretty safe check. Nothing's going to jump in and they're like a certain melt.
What if TNT leads to key and you can just wrap up all of dwarfs right now?
That's a level of convenience that I wouldn't bet on, but it's possible. But then again, I had a lot of terrible practice seeds recently, so I no longer believe in jet seeds. They don't exist.
So Tarnin picks up his crown. He's got the 2 light 3s that'll get Astos down.
Hooray!
Willcleosis and Tarnin both hooray dwarf, and Will's going to find out what the TNT gives. Canoe. We have progression. Marsh Cave doesn't have to happen just yet.
It doesn't, but I think you'd be hard-pressed to find a more convenient one than this.
It very well could be the floater, and not checking it could kill your run.
Will is standing at the fork in the road.
Lyra, where do you go? Do you take your canoe and head over towards Crescent Lake and hope it's like Provoca with a key item or Crescent Lake with a key item, or do you do Marsh?
Honestly, with only a couple spell slots and such a magic-heavy party, I would probably head towards town first, and that looks like what Will's doing.
So I think if we get, like, say, Provoca, Crescent Lake, and the floaters here, maybe this turns out to be another seed. No, it's Elfland. Elfland's Elfland. Maybe another seed where we don't have to do Marsh, like we saw earlier, where Marsh and Waterfall were not required.
There's our level 3 nuke. We're officially in town for Tarnin.
Yeah, he really needs faster temper to land first 4 levels, I guess, to kind of make that up. Because nuke's great, and it's going to help out early. And it's great to have that many casts in Topher, but with 2 knights, if he can get fast and temper early, I think it equalizes later.
Wall
Possibly.
and X for there too. I like the good old transfer spell. Very, very underutilized between most.
Today I learned that Xfer is supposed to be pronounced transfer.
Well, you're transferring the defenses off of something, so it totally makes sense.
I'm just like the blown mind gif right now.
Tarnin utilizing those. Well, I was gonna say utilizing the river tiles to perfection, and then he went through 3 of them, and that's not quite perfection, but still really good.
Given that we're trying to dodge wolves, I don't hate it.
Yeah, and with light 3, maybe you want a river tile, so
Mhm.
who knows?
Question in chat, what does Expert do if it lands on an enemy?
Fizzle.
No. If it lands on an enemy, it any resistances that enemy has are stripped away. So, for an example, Chaos, and I don't know why I'm pulling this example, if you land Expert on him, you can get insta-kill spells at greater than 3 in 256 chance to land. Like, Brack goes all the way up to like a 6% chance, which is doable, you know, if you want to do that. It's an underutilized spell, but it also, because it's kind of a niche combo strategy, it works, but you have to really like work for it.
Was that Fade we just saw level 4?
That was
I believe
Fade,
it was.
Okay. Just to go back to Expert, it's a great spell, but it only has its usefulness against certain enemies, right? If an enemy doesn't have a natural resistance to something, casting Expert on it's not going to do anything. So you have to know which enemies have resistances, and then get the Expert to land, and then also get the spell to land that you want. So you shouldn't bank your entire run on it.
Right.
So Fade and Nuke, we said earlier, if Will could get Fade and Nuke within the first 4 levels, it would greatly kind of point the needle in his favor, and it happened to roll that way. I didn't see if Fade was learnable.
Chat's saying that Fade was slot 2 of level 4, which means that Red Mage is never going to get that Fade.
Well, with Nukes, not so bad.
Nuke's good enough. Level 3 Nuke is going to patch a lot of holes. Between the Nuke and the Lightning 3, that's most of the magic firepower that you would really want in any of these seeds anyway.
So Will opts to go the route that Lyra said she would do, going to check out Crescent Lake, not Marsh. Tarnin, however, we have route divergence at less than 13 minutes, Fizzle. Which route would you have gone?
I would have done Marsh before Elfland. I would have bought a house in Canaria, and I would have taken fights all the way down to Marsh, drop the house, get my spell charges back, and then slam out Marsh. Worry about Elfland later.
I bet you pour your milk before your cereal too, because that's crazy.
I can't help it. I like early Marsh. It's a disease.
Hydras are really beefy over on Will's side.
Yeah, but with Light 3, well, if he had
Looks like he's
cast
gone
Light
through
3.
some of them.
If this pays out for Will, if he gets Provoca here and it's Floater, it's going to be a huge lead.
We do already know that it's going to be an inn of some sort just because LaFane was our...
Oh, it's Crescent
Uh-oh.
Lake. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Okay. No vendor item yet, but we do have the confused circle of Yoga Edgeworth.
There's those chain shirts again that you were mentioning earlier.
Yeah, the prophecy says once every 2,000 years, Yoga in the park has to get up to stretch.
Fast Brack Ice 3, all level 6.
But Red Mages can't get that Brack. That's painful. That
But the
hurts.
fast they can get, and that's really, really fortunate.
Mm-hmm. Who do we got? Who's hiding the
Nothing
fun
here.
stuff? It's taking a while. It's probably herb or loot. They like to hide the weed and the guitar.
He's hiding. It's the guy to the left.
Yeah,
He's hiding. It's the run! Oh, Marsh was the play. Well, hold on.
Well, ice could be the thing
Ice
too.
could be it, yeah. We saw Ali Jabrap the other night just destroy a 4-man because he made the ice play early and it turned off with the floater.
Mm-hmm. I was there. It was unfortunate.
No, nothing but a heel helm in the top floor of Marsh there. Time to head to
Yeah.
the bottom and see.
Hey, that's good
Good
money.
decision to just reset out of that and just go.
Mhm.
I personally would have taken the heal helm, but I prefer those strats only because it saves a lot and you don't have a lot of resources to heal with in this.
Helmets are an interesting piece of gear. I'm kind of a big disbeliever on heal 1. I think at the time you want to use it, it's more trouble than it's worth. But as a piece of gear, heal helmets are pretty good, except we don't really care about a lot of helmets because ribbons exist, and ribbons take priority over everything no matter what. So I usually end up... Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Loose ship in volcano.
Oh. That derailed my train of thought pretty hard.
That opens everything up. So now we have access to waterfall, we have access to ordeals, and ice cave. Oh no.
Tarnin's gonna need a floater here in order to catch back up. This is already pretty bad.
Yeah, this has to be floater for Tarnin to catch up. At least for now.
What do we got?
It's the chime. Will made the right play.
Now hang on. What if, and come with me on this journey, what if we find cube out of ordeals or mirage and our floaters in sky?
It's possible. I would dive mirage without the cube. I think it's it's 18 chests and good XP. And there's 50 people who tell me I'm wrong, but I'll take the levels and the gear that you get out of there for 3-4 minutes worth of work.
By boat? That's a long trip in a boat.
I would do ordeals and waterfall first, but I'm definitely not against doing mirage without the cube.
Sure. If we knock out waterfall and ordeal, sure.
So Will actually skipping the long hallway chest and going straight into the actual second floor armory instead. Not a lot here though. This is kind of...
Homer Cleese, that is the game changer that you see at the bottom right of Will's screen there. He's a big fan of it, and with 4 characters that can wield it, you better believe if he finds it, he'll be putting it to use.
Some real flaming trash in the second floor armory there.
Who put all these wooden sticks in the volcano? I mean, honestly.
It's about how hard Xcal hit.
Oh.
Truth.
Baroness of Shade in here today.
So ice cave for Will, you think? Or is he going to take that ship and start sailing?
Given that he's already left a volcano, I have to imagine... Well, now let's back up for a second. When we here we go. When we highlighted this race, we said that one person just operates on wings and prayers, and the other one operates in a calculated, methodical fashion. Here is Will deciding, I got the thing out of Eastern Continent. Let's drop everything that we're doing, and let's head for what I can only assume is waterfall or ordeals.
Yeah, I thought maybe he would go towards Crescent Lake to save and get his spell charges back so he could go into ice with kind of the full spell book, but no, I think he's going to go to Elfland, take that ship, and he's going to maybe try to see if Melmond is Provoca. Maybe Bicky has the floater.
Maybe. Provoca's still on the table.
You could sail down to Onrak, check that. So there's a very good chance. You have a high likelihood of finding Provoca with your ship.
Oh, that's where it dumped the ship off, all the way back in Elfland. Good.
Yep. It only places the ship at Inner Sea docks, and technically Elfland is the closest one to Volcano, so that's where it ends up putting it.
Crescent Lake Volcano puts it at Elfland. Ice Cave puts it at Provoca.
Pretty sure that's right.
Will going back for some more spell.
Will going for spells he already has?
Maybe he just wants to make extra sure he got them.
I don't hate picking up Invis while we're at it. It makes it because we only have one fighter, we can just dump 3 Invis casts into it, and we're already halfway to evade cap. That's okay if we don't find Invis 2 or defense. I'm curious about the time we're spending on a shopping trip right now, especially to a place we've already been to.
I think it's his way of saying, I'm not going to be back here for quite some time, so let's get it while we're here.
Tarnin's in the river and he's headed north. He's got to be going to ice. I would be shocked if he doesn't.
Tarnin doesn't like to dip Volcano unless he's ready to clear the whole thing.
Was that level 4 ruse learnable? It was in the top slot.
Top slot, then yes.
Yeah.
Even if It was 4,600. You wouldn't buy it now, but later on, I'd come back there for that. There's
Uh-oh.
We've got
Uh-oh.
Provoca.
Oh boy. We got Black Magic, we got Lightning 2, Temper, Quake, I guess. No, we got
good.
we don't need Quake. We got so many things to deal with, stuff that we would be using Quake for, so just Lit 2 and Temper, but it's a lot of Temper casts he's stocking up on. What do we got in Black Magic?
Oh no.
Oh, we got Lamp! Oh.
He's going back in to buy it. Now he's
buying soft.
He's gonna buy it on his fighter, you what?
For 890 or 880 priced or gold softs, I don't mind buying soft the spell.
Slow 2? That's a pick.
I like the spiciness of it, actually.
I don't know what to think of it. I want to see how he utilizes it.
That'll be interesting. So Tarnin does go Volcano, makes a liar of all of us.
He has to feel like he's behind. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
There it is.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so Tarnin going to Volcano here is gonna save him, because he's gonna find that ship.
That's true.
I mean, it could have, if he would have went ice, this race would have been 30 minutes apart.
Right. He's probably desperate for gear and cash right now, so that's probably why we're here, and we're gonna find the boat, which is great. He's still gonna do ice. I cannot envision him not doing ice with his current loadout.
We get to possibly see what the long hallway chests are, since Will actually skipped those as well. 9k gold bracelets.
Well, that feels pretty good.
Fire 3 on the hyenas, though.
That doesn't feel so good.
It's that burning, itching feeling.
Hyenas, that's what.
Tarnin headed into the wooden stick armory. Gonna be disappointed with that. Meanwhile,
I was gonna say athletes.
Willcleosis is sailing for his airship. Gonna be in the air somewhere around the 24-minute mark.
So is this going to come down to a hard Topher that Will dives early and Tarnin prepares for? That's kind of been Tarnin's MO lately. It's how he took out Spell Zap in round 1.
Well, we have a lot of game between now and then. Early Floater is fantastic, and we've got one loose item off the table. We still don't know if that other loose item is required, and that can end up being its own problem.
So Tarn choosing to walk the actual items and gonna go check the hall. Something that Will actually didn't do, so this might come on pretty big, depending on what.
So
Is that all Silver Swords? I think so.
We're
Or not.
quite at the 12 key items, but we're certainly closing in. So grind's not just yet. That's the only reason I don't like doing volcanoes so early, is because that's one of the better places to get... Oh, a sun sword's nice. It's one of the better places to get your grind going with the Agmatiles, but if you're not at 12 key items, you certainly wouldn't want to do that.
Right. And I don't like the idea of dipping Volcano without a plan to kill Carry. And we've got Nuke, but do we have enough charges to actually make it stick? Because I don't recall seeing that many.
Right. Did Tarnin have to reset out?
No, Tarnin
the
wiped
ship
to
in.
Fire 3 hyena.
Oh. Alright.
Alright, he's taking his boat and bailing. That's the play here. Sarda's got ribbon.
Nothing wrong with a ribbon, but you want to see progression before you see anything like fluffy like.
Although it is nice to have a ribbon that early to guarantee protection.
Here we go. Here's Bonkers Crazy Man Earth Dive. See what we get.
With Rod, this isn't horrible though.
It's a gamble. I mean, Will loves doing this. If something lands here, like a Mass Moon. Alright, so
lovely
Tarnin's not going to get that for quite a while.
Alright, I give up.
I'm telling you. I mean, Mo won earlier today because she just went pure Will strats, and Will just picked up a Mazmoon because he just went pure Will strats.
Alright, what else we got? Here.
Another ribbon.
I give up. I give up. I give up. Earth is the greatest dungeon in the game. I've converted.
I mean, it's a viable play. Everyone hates Earth, right? Because you don't get many levels out of it, and the chests are so spread out. But if something lands there and you make the play, congrats on your win, because your opponent's going to do it last.
See what we got on the rest of first floor here. Besides Cobra, is someone called G.I. Joe.
I had to see. Oh, go ahead.
I don't know, let's call it Dragon Armor and Tail. Sure, why not?
I was going to say Vorpal.
Good.
I had a seed last year in the spring tournament where Vorpal was top and Mazza was bottom right, and it was a quad match. Nobody else checked it. I'm calling Vorpal.
Nah, there's a nice sword.
And
the Mage Staff.
Mage
All
Staff
hail
has
our
value,
Cave
and it
Overlords.
is a blue sword.
I mean, the Mage Staff isn't as good as it could be, because we do have Lightning 3 and Nuke, but it's something for the fighter to do, because he doesn't have any AoE, so...
Will's got to be feeling really, really good right now.
I smell a Zardia Islands check, and that's exactly where I will.
Okay, well, let's read the seed here. It seems like Will's got all the luck today, so I'm calling Loose Tail in Cardia Isles.
Sure. I've given up on odds. Let's go with that.
Flame Armor.
Flame Armor's not bad. We're kind of running low on warp charges, so what?
So we're just gonna check one Cardia Isle.
Sure. Seems then we're gonna park at Ordeals with no magic. Seems good. Let's do it.
Maybe he just wanted armor and he got it, and now he's gone.
Maybe.
To be perfectly fair, Will did pick up a few of those 4K houses earlier, so he's definitely interested in this board.
Oh, okay. We had some houses left over. All right, this is good. I like this now. Meanwhile, Tarnin's picked up his floater, is checking his Provoke a Magic shops, sees the temper, gonna be happy about that.
But he got his floater here. Did he not do a magic check while he was in the town?
Not yet. Generally, I think because we don't have unsafe pirates on, I think the path is, if you have at least some AoE left, you hit the pirates first, because they'll give you a little bit of gold, especially if you're lacking in it, and then you can do the magic shop check so you don't have to double dip the right side of town.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I was watching Will scream while he was doing the cardio dive. I thought Tarnin went and picked up his floater, or his airship, and then flew back.
Oh, no.
Okay.
So, a question in the chat about unsafe pirates. There's a flag you can actually turn on for some of these, where those pirates, they tend to get things that aren't so one-hit damagey, and kind of just blow you up.
I think a better way to call that would be possibly unsafe pirates, because most of the time, even if you check the flag, they're still fine. All it does is it throws them into the pool to receive something nasty like Fire 2 or Lit 3 or Blizzard or Nuke, but it doesn't guarantee that they're going to be unsafe, just that they could be.
And we've got Tarnin in the air at the 29-minute mark. He's not that far behind. He's making good time, but Will's still got a bit of a lead on him. The one thing Tarnin has in his favor right now, he did Marsh, and Marsh has the Chime. So, depending on how long it takes Will to get there, and if he tries to just skip incentives entirely, that will be interesting to see how that pans out.
So Greg Lee joins us in chat. Where was Floater? It was in Melmond. Tarnin has done Marsh Cave and picked up the Chime. Will did not. But Will made the Earth 1 floor check. A bit of a gamble, and man, did it pay off. Mazmoon, we picked up Ice Sword. We picked up Mage Staff.
Ribbon.
And a ribbon, yeah. So Earth 1 paying off huge.
There's X-Cal, left side of Cardia Islands.
Throw it back in the volcano where it belongs.
And then we just need a tail, it'll be good.
It's great for money. Will not having any of those memmy business.
Will just blasting his way through ordeals. Black shirt. Some good cash.
Loose loot.
Oh.
We've
Oh,
got
boy.
our 2 loose.
Oh boy.
Jet time.
So, let's consider options at this point. What do we think the chances are that Will is just gonna, fly into Topher in a ball of fire
Mhm.
at like level 19?
Pretty good.
Mhm.
Really, especially if it finds Vorpal. I was just going to say that's very, very fortunate that a dungeon that turns out to not be mandatory because the tail happens to be mandatory because of loose loot. So
Right.
not a time waste. But yeah, I think he'll go level 19, 20 just to check it out. I don't think Tarnin will.
I like those level 19 and 20 Topher plays. That's actually really spicy. That's something I can respect.
They're real scary though.
Nah. Not for someone as experienced and veteran moved. Tarnin warping out of the cardio.
Yep, finished his cardia check. I have to imagine he's probably headed to either Ordeals or Onrak at this point. Or not.
Where's Tarnin going?
What's
Oh,
going
Earth?
on?
Oh, is he doing Earth?
Oh no.
No, he's flying too far for. Oh, he's going past it.
Oh, he forgot Sarda. Okay,
Sarda.
this is fine. This is good.
How
Gotta
do I
find this
will
rip-
Tarnin towards Earth? How do I do it?
Think of hedge pigs? I don't know.
Positive vibe.
Willcleosis continues is just blasting of the countryside. Headed into his airship. Where's he going? Probably to turn the tail in and finish his cardia check.
Yep, and then more than likely going over to see what Onrak is and to knock out Waterfall.
Mm-hmm.
Taking the old long walk down the hallway of destiny. Earth had Mazza on the first floor there. Welcome, Crab.
What
And
did
there's
Earth
Tarnin
have?
headed for Ordeals.
What
What did Earth
didn't
not have?
Ice Sword, Mage Staff, Mazmoon, second ribbon. Sarda gave the first one. I mean, it's just Will strats. It paid off. It was a gamble and it paid. We've already found our 2 loose. We're flying within 30 minutes. This has not been a tough seed at all.
Leaning towards the 40% of those 60-40s you have out.
So cardio grassy check, and then I can't imagine he's going to go anywhere other than waterfall on that check.
Because what are we missing at this point? We are missing the cube. Well, he's missing the cube. He's missing the chime.
Key.
Missing the key.
Mhm.
So that's...
Slab.
Slab's a fetch item, so that's just going to lead to something else. So...
Well, we've already seen ribbon, so it's almost a good chance. I mean, it could lead to like ruby or something not necessary, but
Well, making the waterfall on rack.
yeah, it's smart. So on rack is on rack. We still haven't seen our vendor item, so I think that puts the vendor item at Gaia.
That was
Right, vendor
somewhere
item.
that,
That's the one I was thinking about.
Somewhere where Tarnin checked but immediately noped out of Gaia, so that's probably where it is.
Tarnin's about to pick up his second loose item in his tail, so he'll class change. And if he decides to check Earth, he'll have Excalibur and Mazza on his 2 knights, which is going to feel really good. I
Question,
don't know
chat,
if we've seen it yet. Yeah, go ahead.
Tarnin did do the caravan check. It was just heal potions and cabins.
I think I'm going to go ahead and call Lazy Gaia. Vendor item bottle, turn in immediately.
It is a fun one.
feels like the seed is just that free.
Mhm.
I smell a ruby a guy instead.
That'd be nice.
Oh, Ruby is vendor item. I love those seeds.
It's like one of those commercials. Like for $5 a day, you could feed someone that's hungry. Nah, no, thanks.
Aw.
No, not gonna do it.
This is a Falconic special question in chat answer.
Yeah, we brought the name brand and jet seeds today.
This is
Like I
the
said,
ice
I either
cream
roll the
seed.
hardest or the easiest seeds, and so far it looks like one of the easier ones.
This is the ice cream seed. Everything is vanilla.
So what are we gonna get from waterfall? Maybe key or cube? Hopefully, one of those.
Maybe a crystal
Yeah,
box?
key or cube.
Could be crystal that leads to key or cube. Yeah, we still have a couple fetch out there.
Right.
I'm a little surprised you don't see more people grind those zombie Ds when they have early nuke like this, because they're such a free fight usually, and the XP is actually really good early.
True, I like to dump my nuke or fade charges on zombie Ds when I exit. It's usually good for maybe a level, but when we're trying to get a whole party of characters up to 24, that level matters.
How long would it take an experienced runner to realize they were playing vanilla and rando? You would
Real
start
quick.
to pick up the hint or the scent of it really quick.
Mhm.
And it is possible. I mean, there's a non-zero chance that everything lands where it originally lands, but I wouldn't count on it.
Tarnin following up right behind Will here.
Gotta clear those incentives.
Noctis joining us in chat and is asking for a Lyra recap, if I read that correctly.
Oh, really? Okay, one moment here while we check the vendor robot. Oh, there's the slab. That's always a... So, the king had the adamant, the princess had the oxy ale, Vicky had the floater, Sages gave us the rod for an early value earth check-in. TNT on Astos, Sarda had a ribbon, Narek had the canoe, which was the demolitions expert, and the blacksmith had the crown. Marsh had the chime minutes, tail and ordeals with vanilla. Loose items were the ship and the very first chest in Volcano, and the loot was in ordeals. And a whole lot of other fun stuff here too.
Yeah, I think the story of this seed so far is that Will decided to check the first floor of Earth and got paid with a ribbon and the Mazmoon.
Like white shirt, black shirt, Mazamune, trash cow, 2 ribbons. For gear, you can't feel like you're really hurting for this seed.
No, I would expect one or both of our runners to probably stop opening boxes soon because the list of things we want to see in a box is real short at this point.
Now, I guess out of the remaining NPCs, is there a potential for a cabin, or do you always see that early on?
There is always a potential for cabin, but, well, or I think it might be limited to Inner Sea. I'm not 100% on the mechanics of that.
Now, in these flags, you can always get attacked by zombies and stuff like that while you're wandering around Melman, just to increase the fun of it.
There's also a rare chance for a vampire.
Is Vampire in the Melman table?
Yep. He's one of the rarest encounters, yeah.
Here
I knew
for
pirates were
exit
there.
Bane.
Yep. Pirates and the ghost, or not the ghost, but the ghouls and geist and all that, and then vampire is very rare, but it happens.
That's terrific. Red learnable, Cure 4, and Exit. That's party time.
Oh yeah, I love these spells here.
Siege so far has
get
just been
nervous
here, have everything.
If it's so easy like this, do you start to get nervous? Like, wait a second. Where's
Yes.
the challenge?
Because you have to know that Like, what have we run into that's been an obstacle so far? We had Glance Wolves,
Mhm.
and I'm struggling. Sorry, we had Fire 3 Hyenas as well. And after those, I'm struggling to come up with anything that's been in the way. So you have to think either you've been insanely lucky, or your opponent is also just blazing through this.
Mhm.
So we got to figure out when do we go, because we're definitely in a sprint at this point.
Super early game, there wasn't many pure potions on the table, and there was a lot of poison touch imps, so that was kind of annoying. Hey, there's the rip.
Well,
Time for a snap.
We haven't seen Herb yet, so Herb could lead to Cube, Bottle could lead to Cube, and we have Key as well. So Cube Key from the 2 turn-ins, I think.
mhm.
And then that would put Will in go mode, and if he finds that soon, it'll be go mode less than an hour, which feels really, really good.
All we've got left on the table is ice and vendor item, I think.
Have we seen Gaia, the actual town of Gaia yet?
I don't think so. I believe it's in Lefane. Because I think we saw Onrak, didn't we?
Yeah, Onrak,
Onrak
I believe,
location.
was Onrak.
Okay.
Chat pointing out the out of bats sighting.
Yay! Fantasy points.
I love the out of bounds bat. It's my favorite character in the game.
Life 2 Red Wizard learnable. You can't be mad at that.
Wow. This is redmageseed.avi. I mean, look at that
Yeah.
spell list. That's amazing.
3 Red Wizards was certainly the way to go. It's going to take something really, really nasty in Topher to make Tarnin have any chance of catching this up. Now, Will could easily run into something that wipes him out, but so far it's all coming up Willcleosis so far.
That's true, but getting all of those items that early, if Will doesn't stop for anything and just barrels into Topher at level 18, just that alone could slow him down, I think.
Oh, sure. He's doing what I was mentioning earlier. He's going in Volcano after he's hit his 12 key items. I wonder if we're going to see an Agma grind in preparation of what you were just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of preparation, I do have a couple Agama facts coming up in case we actually run across that particular possibility that some of us fans here may not know about. I've
So-
done my homework.
If you're Will, do you check anything out of the way?
No? I mean, what are we looking for? We're looking for Power Gauntlet.
Defense.
He's
and
looking
power.
for Vorpal.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what we're witnessing. We're witnessing the hunt for the Vorpal.
Maybe a potential third ribbon too.
It concerns me that he's not healing up those red wizards, but at the same time, I think it's his way of showing us he's doing an Agma grind.
A quick play I want to point out real quick. Tarnin started on the path to Lefane location. And then he stopped to look at his inventory, saw that he didn't have the bottle, and decided he's going to be putting it off until he has the bottle. Time will tell if this is a good idea or a bad idea. He's doing donuts real quick. He's going to kind of dirtle around in the inner sea. He's supposed to be going to ice. He's supposed to be going to ice.
Yeah.
But we're going to take a break.
You're here, do the Lefane check. You already know that Lefane isn't going to be Lefane, so it's going to lead to Gaia.
Right.
And I think he's all but ruled out vendor location, so unless, I mean, even if it's the cube, go ahead and pick it up while you're here.
Sure. I mean, that would be good, because we could just slam out Mirage Sky. We might not necessarily be grinding for anything, but heading into it at level 15 is pretty good.
Here's that Agama character you were talking about.
I think we're going to see a grind.
That's a couple characters at 1 hit point. I think you're right.
And he's got Excal on the night. Ooh,
Oh.
they're beefy, though.
North of 500 health on those Agamas. Ugh.
So, as we're doing our Agama facts here, I want to mention that Agamas have indeed told us that this is the first time these two have ever met one-on-one. The only other time they've actually crossed paths was back in the first ever co-op match back in August of 2018.
Yet
in
another
which our
match that
partners
never
were actually doing
happened.
the commentary for it.
Lyra, I forget, how did that match go?
It's not important.
So it's a little awkward in the commentator's booth because Tarnin is Fizzle's co-op partner and Will's my co-op partner, so they're cheating on us today just a little bit.
Mm-hmm. If he comes home with any Vorpal paraphernalia, he's sleeping on the couch. I can tell you that.
Just in case Tarnin decides to do that too, I actually have more Agama facts available for our fans on.
Tarnin turning in his crystal, he's going to get the ruby. I wonder if he checks those 4 chests. Can't see why he would.
Doubtful. He has almost certainly counted that he's got his 2 loose items, and we haven't seen a cabin. So all we need after that are incentives. He's got to remember ice. Do the ice cave.
Maybe.
Or stay at the inn. Staying at the inn's cool too.
So the red D chest here for Will, which is a little surprising because we've already found our 2 loose. But I guess this is just his way of saying, I'm not coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Big old load of bull right here for one.
See what you did there. So with the Agama grind being kind of a non-starter, because even at that level, it takes a lot of swings to take them down. Do we think is there going to be a second grind at a Will, or are we just going to be 2-manning for a while?
Probably just 2-man, if I had to guess. I think he feels good. He's already got the spells on the other red mages,
Right.
the red wizards. Probably pick him up for Sky and then just roll from there.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Tarnin enters the ice cave. Our bones with stun touch, but they fall pretty easily to lit 3.
Lightning 3, a lot of power, pack potential, and level 1 spell slot. Got him.
Well, that was a carry.
Alright.
48 minutes in, we've got our first orb. Second orb, sorry. Yeah, the first orb. I just saw 2 on the tracker, and I was like, wait a second, we haven't seen 2. Tarnin heard your calls, is in Ice Cave. We're about to find out what is down
Seed
there.
bottle.
It's the herb.
That's okay. Herb can lead to bottle too. This is fine. Everything's fine. And he's looping around because he is going to take that eye grind.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I
At
think
this
it's
level?
bottle to key. I'm still sticking with my lazy fairy.
Right.
I think the pirate up at the clinic bottled up the fairy and just sold it to the guy right down the street.
And no one noticed.
Nope.
That was a short grind. Alright, I guess we're done.
Yeah. That
I don't think I saw anything bad out of the eye, but maybe we just wanted to get that one level and call it good. You might also be feeling the heat just knowing that there's no barriers to anything anywhere in this seed, so we don't have time for the grind, we gotta go.
So I guess the real question is, how do you feel heat inside of an ice cave?
So the herb led to the key, which tells us that the vendor item has to be the bottle in
Yep.
Gaia to the
Yep.
cube.
Yep.
Lazy fairy.
Guess we're
The
gonna
pirate's just sitting there going, "You'll never find where I put her." Dude, we found her down the street. Oh, crap.
Curses, you saw through my nefarious plan. Tarnin's gonna open... No, he's not. We're just taking a fun route. Alright, we'll skip northwest. We'll open dwarf chests, because there's a lot of them.
Mhm.
What are we looking for?
Defense power bonk.
Oh, Right. Tarnin hasn't been to Earth. We're looking for Mazza, we're looking for Ribbon, we're looking for Bonk. We're looking for an endgame sword. No, we have X. Well, we have X-Cal. Oh, there's defense.
Dragon
There's
armor.
dragon armor. Opal shield. That might put him in go mode.
So basically, it's the Night Depot.
Yeah.
I like it. That's a pretty strong dwarf game.
And Will picks up his herb, so he'll be right on the keychain here soon. Levels right around 20, I think I saw.
Something interesting is that Will is actually going to go ahead and go for these.
I don't
six
hate
chests.
this. Right? There's no fear of dying in here. At least
Right.
not yet.
There would
Of
have
course
to be
it-
something pretty monstrous to get through level 20 and 2 ribbons.
Of course, there's no fear with lamp on the table.
This is true. Does Tarnin typically check Topher locked? Or TOF
No.
locked?
Not unless he feels like he has to. And given that we skipped Northwest, I doubt we're going to see TOF locked.
Mm.
Not much in that particular room, but there's still a few more chests in here. There's 2 more upstairs, and then there's 3 right next to each other in the room. Skips the 2 in the corner, though, behind all the ice floor.
Alright, where are we headed? We're headed to Gaia, right?
Fine. Yeah, he's gonna do the Gaia check.
Yeah. Will gets ice armor, which is kind of a lateral move. Some cash.
So if Power Bonk shows up in these next 3 chests, Tarnin's gonna be kicking himself.
Yeah. Free pro ring. That's not bad. But kinda not what we wanted.
Yeah, Will's just gonna bail on this. I don't blame him. Even though the eye grind would have been pretty interesting right here.
Alright, what do we got in learnable magic? Pure. Not quite worth it for level 7. Or Lock 2. Not quite worth it for level 7. I can never remember which of those are learnable in Gaia and which ones are learnable in Onrak.
To be perfectly honest, I think Lock 2 is a great play, but that's just me though. You never know when something's going to roll super high evade and without something like Vorpal or anything like that.
Are the Lock 2 fixes live? Because I know that was the last thing... Oh no, yeah, they are live. Okay, yeah, no, I see it.
Will finding the old brick house right there in the chat.
Cheap pro rings. Alright, here we go.
Yep.
There's our bottle.
Super expensive bottle though.
Oh, chat correcting me. The Lock 2 fixes are not live yet, but they are in Alpha and Beta. And here we get the cube. So that's the last thing that Tarnin needs. It's time to sprint.
Thank you
Meanwhile,
to-
Willcleosis back in Volcano?
Will was checking the long hallway chests that were skipped earlier, but I don't see him doing anything more besides.
Will forgot to... Hang on. So it's one thing to look for the Vorpal. That's fine, that's great. I don't believe Will has checked Lefane, and that's where the vendor item is. Is Will repeating history and forgetting his cube?
Autograph it. Let's go.
This could be an interesting development. We'll see how it pans out. Meanwhile, we had level 6 in Viz 2. That's good for the red mages. I believe we probably also picked up fast while we're here.
Will gonna grab a sun sword right here after this.
And Tarnin's into Volcano. Everybody back in the Volcano. It's nice and warm in here. It's kind of like a sauna, except without the water.
But the thing is, can this place actually be cold? Because we found out the ice cube was actually warm.
Anything can happen. Is that a thing we can randomize? We should talk to development about it. Swap the pallets on Volcano and Ice Cave. That's how we change temperatures, right?
I like it.
Yeah. Will storming into Marsh Cave. He's gonna get his chime, but I wonder what else we're opening.
I would highly doubt anything at this point, even though he probably does want Vorpal for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Something we haven't seen yet. Vorpal could be somewhere like Sharknado in the Sea Shrine, or even at the Mermaid's Pond.
Right, we haven't touched Sea, and we haven't touched Mirage Sky.
I don't know if you guys are having trouble seeing, but the Vorpal's clearly on Will's screen at the bottom right. He just needs to go down and get it.
Right, he just needs to... The Vorpal's wily, though, because every time you move down and to the right to try to get it, it matches your pace, it moves away from you. It's a bad sword, don't use it.
So, if that sword is really wily, I guess that makes him a Mega Man.
That's the crossover we all want and love. So there's Willcleosis getting his chime as Tarnin storms through the Agama floor. Still opening boxes.
He's about to find out the bad news that Agamas have upwards of 550 health.
Mm-hmm.
Something we're not going to see either runner do probably at this point, but Key-Locked Marsh might have had some of that interesting stuff, but it's only 3 chests.
Yeah.
I'm just going to pick up his key here. Does he do the key lock chest to find the defense sword?
Honestly, I've given up trying to predict Will's trajectory. It's... The man's gone mad.
Tarnin finding that load of bull right there.
I don't know when that's going to stop being funny, but it ain't today. And that, about to get the good news about Carry 1, that she has, what was it, like, sub 350 health?
Yeah, about 350.
Yeah.
Something we're not going to see this seed, but definitely quad Xable.
Mm-hmm. We got Willcleosis making the Northwest Castle check. We got a cabin, 271 bucks, and a light axe. Cash would have been great like 40 minutes ago.
Yeah, right. Well, he'll pick up the defense sword, so that feels pretty good. But you know, he's still hoping out for that power bonk or the Vorpal. But
But well, is going to find a defense right here. Delicious, Steve.
and Dragon Armor, don't forget about that. He's gonna feel real happy when he sees it. Right here.
See?
Yep. Hold on, wait a second.
Yeah, stop, wait, go back. There we go. That Opal Shield is probably good enough as well. Yeah. Yep. Meanwhile, over on Tarnin's side, nuke in a swing, blink and you miss it. Down goes Carry 1.
So Tarnin lights his orb about 11 minutes after Will. Just like that, tied up. Really, that Earth Cave check is all that's kind of got Tarnin behind at the moment.
Pretty much, yeah, that Mazza would definitely be helping him catch up so far, but Tarnin is in key item go mode. Just as soon as he figures out where he's going. Going for C, I guess.
A bad play. He knows he can pretty much go mode it, or at least just check the free chest along the Kraken side.
Will
I
is
see what he
headed for
did.
Titans.
Don't like this move, and because of that, this is where power is going to be.
Probably. I am all in on the theory at this point that Will has memory hold the vendor item and thinks there's still an item loose. Because that's the only way I can rationalize some of these checks.
Question in chat. The cube was actually located pretty much right next door to the ferry in
No power.
How about some Mogwai power?
Tarnin has class changed. Coolient.
Correct. Both classes class changed after finding the tail semi-early in the incentive chest and ordeals.
Here it is. Will's
Oh,
on
here
the
we go.
site.
He's on the case.
Tarnin sees what we did here by making the wonderful play down.
We ain't got time for mermaids. We ain't got time for boxes. We got to go. So with this, it will be interesting to see how progression lines up. Because in the time it takes Will to get his cube, Tarnin might actually make it all the way to Kraken to get his second orb.
Mhm.
But Will's got second ribbon and Mazza and just oodles of stuff. And I don't know if Tarnin feels quite comfortable with what he's got.
Knowing him, I don't think he's comfortable yet, so I would expect that we're going to see him take a few fights and possibly grind somewhere.
I mean, the fights, sure. Levels are great. Oh, well, there's the Vorpal.
Endgame weapon. So Tarnin with the X-Cal now and the Vorpal can't feel too bad about not finding the Mazmoon.
But we're still looking for stuff, so let's check Sharknado floor.
Will finds those prayer rings right there. Nice, delicious value.
I wonder if
What else we got down
Tarnin
here?
digs out a ribbon here. Maybe he goes a little earlier than he would normally because he's got the weapons now. He's got good armor. 2 ribbons would feel nice.
I think we're looking for that third ribbon. Or, well, to us it's the third ribbon. To him it's the second ribbon. And I think that's what we're looking for, maybe.
Fast was around the level 3 to 4 range, if I remember right. So yeah, they
Fast was 6, but Red Mage learnable after class change.
gotcha.
So how about a screen full of Wiz Sahags and R Sahags, and R Sahags do slow one by one by one.
They already do slow. They don't need to include the spell. Like, they're already just like epitome molasses that you just kind of slowly wade through.
Mhm.
They're not threatening. They don't do anything, but it takes a while to just kind of get out, shake yourself off. There's Will with his cube. That's key item go mode for Will.
I'd just say it's time to haul rear at this.
Knowing Will, I think he's going to do Sky before C, and I like it.
I like it too. It's just the closest one to do. There's no need to, fly all over the world if we don't have to. So just do stuff in the order of how close it is, which is going to be Sky, then Sea, then Earth.
Mhm. Maybe it's just me too, but I find Sky's easier to deal with enemy-wise than C, and once you're through with Sky, it doesn't matter what C has because you're over-prepared for it.
Tarnin on Kraken floor. See what the Happy Squid has for us today.
Not gonna find out what the Nyclones have.
As Willcleosis enters Mirage Tower, not even stopping for anything on the first floor. He's got to be feeling the pressure at this point. We're an hour and 4 minutes in and he's only got 1 orb lit. He might be having to play catch-up, or at least that's how he feels.
Chat pointing out the X Factor references. Kind of wrong randomizer.
Nope, everyone wait for lobsters. They're really expensive and it's rude to refuse them. But if we just microwave them, they'll go away.
So we know will take out, or at least attempt a War Mech. Tarnin the War Mech type, or usually run?
Difficult question. I lean towards run, but with this much good stuff in his favor, he might try to take it.
because
Dragon
that
2
could
opens, Fire 2.
easily, and then dies to 2 nukes in a swing.
Oh yeah, Will's definitely gone. No more chests here.
Has there been anything deadly in the seed yet?
No?
No.
Question mark?
Can we get the return of the infamous Death Medusas in Topher now?
We
Well,
haven't seen
let's-
Death Touch yet.
I'm a big fan of spreading the bad out. I don't like to have all the bad concentrated in one place.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, we had Fire 3 hyenas. That was a deadly thing.
So I would have liked to have seen Will res up those 2 red wizards right now and start getting them some levels so they can take a little bit of abuse in Topher.
Or take
Just
some
in
levels.
case.
Because, like, we want nuke charges, we want Life 2 charges, we want
Yeah.
temper charges.
Res him here. Maybe he does it here.
Maybe?
Chat
You want
already
them to
offering
get
up
levels.
prayers here.
We want them to survive Warmech. Oh yeah, here we go.
Yep. Here we
Yep.
go. This is a good play. I like it. I would have done it sooner.
But, we only res one of them, though.
I half like it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go full don't. I don't like it.
Tarnin enters the Mirage Tower. He's hot on Will's heels, but has the orb lead.
It's a sacrifice. Oh no.
I have to agree with chat. Why is Tarnin opening chests?
Why is Tarnin opening chests? I demand answers.
We will definitely find them in the interview for sure.
Alright, come on, robot friend, where are we? Not there, but they're unrunnable, so that's fine.
There are worse unrunnables. At least this one's going to pay out with XP.
Yeah, the slimes are some of the best small enemies for experience in the game. So if you can see 4 of them, that's pretty really good. And his knight and his red wizard hit 24, that's even better.
Dollar store Whirlpool signing.
These are some annoying red fire hydrants.
Staring at the lamp.
Let's... Okay.
Still just the one. No Warmech so far.
Whirlpool equipped. I like where this is going.
And Will makes it through the Bridge of Destiny with no Warmech sighting. Let's see what Tiamat's got on offer.
If it's
A
anything
lot
that
of
goes to
armor.
the seed, nothing.
A lot of armor. That was 4 hits for, like, barely over 100.
Tia opening up a blizzard. That's pretty entertaining.
Nuke for 144. Swing. 4 hits 63. Ink comes up. That's a good reprieve. Nuke comes out. 190. And he's out of nuke charges.
I gotta question not throwing the Mazza onto the knight since you knew you were going to just toss nukes out. anyways.
Right. Nuke for 111. Temper. Let's swing. 4 hits 167. That's not going anywhere. Still out of nuke. Let's try temper again. Let's swing. And our last nuke on the other red mage. Sacrifice goes down. Nuke comes out. 163. Swing. 4 hits 167. Not going anywhere. Let's try tempering. We need more power. Swing. 4 hits 81. That's the wrong direction. Poison damage, but we got ribbon, so we're fine. Swing Mazza. 4 hits 153. Terminated. Vindication.
More XP for those same 2 characters as well.
Question in chat. Where's the Bane at?
Have we found Banesword yet?
Not that I have seen. And I believe Bane... I thought someone said Bane was level 5?
Yeah, no, we saw the
Dazzle,
spell.
Razzle Dazzle.
Will on his way to Sea Shrine as Tarnin is up at the top floor. Still opening boxes.
I don't know. I mean, everything we've seen so far, I still think it's just going to be one of those seeds where even Topher is free. So Tarnin, typically not somebody who likes to go in right away. I think he might try it, and I wouldn't be surprised if he clears it right away, and Will just isn't able to close this gap right now.
Tarnin taking out his Blizz Vamps for XP, but they had Poison Touch on him. That's pretty annoying.
But if Tarnin keeps checking chests here and Will just goes, Tarnin's giving up this lead he's got.
He is level 20, so we're getting a lot of good levels out of here, so that's good. Not quite matching Will's two-man party, but his two-man party's kind of lopsided because we got the 2 at 24 and the others are down at, like, I don't know, 17, 18? Oh, there's Tarnin's second ribbon.
Hello, Ribbon.
Alright, Tarnin, we're done with boxes. Let's go.
Are we going to see Power Bonk in validation chests?
That would be nice. It's been a good long while since I've seen a validation chest that I've liked opening. Every single time I've ever decided to roll the dice and go for it, it's just like, you know, here's your prize, a cabin and $20.
Here's a cabin that throws your heels off.
Yeah, even better. It would be nice to see something good in validation.
Validation chests is... Oh, go ahead.
Question in chat, what is a validation chest? So, when we head into Temple of Fiends Revisited, Will gets his Vorpal and doesn't blink. In the room that has the Phantom and the slab that you have to play the loot to move, there are 2 chests on each side. Those are what we refer to as the validation chests. Like, if you skip, the theory being if you skip a lot of chests over the run, you open those 2 chests and you are validated for skipping everything and given the 2 things that you would have been searching for had you opened everything in the first place.
That's actually a particular wording that came from the Zelda 3 Randomizer community. We just kind of stole it, and we're not giving it back. Sorry.
So I don't know if you guys noticed this, but as Will picked up his Vorpal, Tarnin checked the 4 free chests on Sky 3 and found Will's Banesword.
Also, the Opal Bracelet was really nice for Tarnin as well.
But Will has his endgame weapon now. He's still swinging that X-Cal, though. He's level 24. Huh.
Even a rolled up newspaper does damage too.
Tarnin on the Bridge of Destiny. We got some nachos. Good appetizer. See if we can get us a main course.
So I don't hate that Will's not using the Vorpal just yet, especially with these flags. If he somehow creeps his way up towards level 32, though, and gets the extra hit,
I don't think we have enough real estate left in the game to get a 2-man party to 32.
Barring something just disgusting in Topher.
We'll go in Mazza for Kraken here.
On the right side, we got Tarnin versus Tiamat. On the left, we got Willcleosis versus Kraken. Each of our runners has killed the other, but now they're both playing catch-up, trying to tie the orbs up 3-3.
I love it. We're going to converge at Earth Cave. Will's already checked the first floor. Does Tarnin check the first floor? They're both going to go mode it. I think Will's levels look a little bit better. Tarnin's more even.
I think Tarnin might stop checking chests by now. I'm not sure though. Earth level 1 does have some valuable stuff in it, and if you check this many chests, you kind of want to just 100%.
Right. Tiamat giving Tarnin the same kind of trouble that she gave Willcleosis. Just a whole lot of health and a whole ton of armor.
So back and forth we go. Will was leading, then Tarnin dug up a lead, then Will had the lead, then Tarnin. Now Will's got it again. There's the fast pickup. We knew that was coming, but only on 1. Does that tell you that he's not going to res the other 2 ever?
I would be shocked and baffled if that happened. So
Then again,
maybe 50-50?
He's kept them dead so long, maybe they don't have anywhere close to level 6 spell charges.
Maybe?
With Nuke at level 3 though, I would definitely at least pick him up for boss.
Here we go. The big convergence in Earth Cave. Tarnin skips the first floor of the gods, heads downstairs.
Yeah, he's gonna kick himself, but I don't blame him. I mean, who checks floor 1 of Earth besides Will and, as we found out today, Moist Mogwai?
Gotta play fast and loose here.
Will not checking a single chest, even the free ones along the way.
Tarnin mirroring that, so we definitely have a foot race now.
With a seed this free, Will has got to be feeling the heat. We're at 116, and we're not even in Topher yet. We gotta move.
That is the law of the speedrunning universe. Gotta go.
Yeah.
Hey, what's that?
That's a chest check. Oh, you mean on the other side? I didn't catch it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that one chest is right there. It's not too far out of the way. That's a decent one, but...
If we check that, I gotta imagine that we're checking Vampire Incentive, which is my favorite Goofy Gamble chest. Why? Okay, sure, we'll do this one too.
This one's not a bad one. That's not too much, and Earth Elementals aren't exactly scary.
True. It's just that it is an encounter that's in the way that we didn't necessarily have to deal with.
Especially not for a wood shield there.
Yeah. So we've got Tarnin on the 3rd floor, Willcleosis on the 4th floor. Tarnin enters the encounter screen.
Do you remember, Fizzle, which chest the Mazmoon was? Was it the top one or the bottom?
Top one?
It's like over an
Vampire
hour
Incentive at
ago,
100
so
gold.
kind of hard to
It
find.
was top, Ribbon was bottom, and then Ice and Mage bottom left.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I stayed at a Holiday Inn last night. I have good memory.
And Tarnin's on the 4th floor now. As
The question
Willcleosis
is-
leaves it.
Does Tarnin check the top room here on 4th floor? I really...
No. 100% no.
No, I can't imagine why he would.
Okay, good. Skipping past it.
Although that gives me a fun idea for a flag or a map edit. What if we connected the top floor of Earth here, or the top section of the 4th floor, so that you could check the chest and then continue walking left? Might not be so bad. You'd skip bottom, but it would incentivize going north.
Sounds
It would
like a
still
good
be
plan.
slower. It would still be slower, but it would be like 20 years slower.
Connect right where Tarnin's going now, which, by the way, Tarnin, when you're watching this back, stop going north on this floor. Never
Punching
go
bag.
north.
We love you, Tarnin. Willcleosis headed towards Topher.
Here we go. It's been the freest of seeds, I think, so far. Certainly the best one we've seen all tournament, in my opinion. And I called it at the beginning. I don't think Topher's going to be tough at all. I think they're just going to push right through it.
I'm betting on there being one big gatekeeper somewhere in there. Probably one of the usual suspects. Your Kraken 2, your Tiamat 2, one of those. I've got to think there's something.
That's what we've been saying all seed. Something somewhere had to be nasty, and everywhere they went, it was just, I mean, no big deal.
Will showing the height of hubris, not even dropping a save outside of TOF.
Will did save back in Cone area, so it's not too far of a flight.
Sure, but it's still a flight.
Oh no, Will definitely wants to go. Definitely wants to get past these dreaded death medus.
So it looks like we're going to be about a minute off from entrance. Will entered at 1:19:45, not even a minute. 1:19:45, close to, yeah, it's going to be about 30 seconds.
Tarnin dropping the save here, though. That's actually the smart.
We've seen some pretty close races already this weekend. This one certainly isn't failing to disappoint. they're neck and neck. Anything here that goes wrong for a player is going to catch the other one up.
Willcleosis only has effectively a 1-floor lead. And he's got 2 powered characters and 2 baggage characters, whereas Tarnin is not only running double fighter, but he kept everyone into the low 20s. Oh, this could go either way.
Kind of see what the Earth Floor has for us. You're assuming that something that would down one player wouldn't down the other, though. We could run into an endless time loop 2,000 years.
I really hope that Will moves that Mazza to the Knight. You got him to 24. You did your job. Put the weapon on him that has the extra swing.
Right.
Hey, look,
Like
punching bag's back.
Oh, he does.
Like if we
He
want...
has it.
Okay. It's like we could... Vorpal is perfectly fine, but only from, like, Tia 2 onward. Like... We need to mow through stuff right now.
Yeah, it's... With these flag percentages, there are certainly bosses that we've seen where the Vorpal will out-damage the Mazza. But, again, you don't know until you start the fight, and it would feel really bad if you start the fight with the Vorpal on, and it turns out it's a Mazza fight, so... better safe than sorry, Mazza equipped in the upcoming co-op tournament. I think we're going to see a lot more Katanas and Vorpals, but not so much in Swiss.
Willcleosis is on the fire floor as Tarnin is about to pull Speed Bump 2. Showing respect.
Never show this
feeling,
boss.
It's gotta be feeling nerves at this point. That's the only explanation I can have for that. Meanwhile, on Will's side, both of the baggage characters are already down. I think one fell to Lich and the other fell to Trash.
So, quick chat here. What's the co-op tournament?
Co-op tournament is upcoming. Looks like we're on track to have it. It's co-op written by one of our lead developers, Meridian, as Will pulls Carrie here. I'll explain in just a second after this fight here. Will's throwing out some nukes. It looks like he's not going to go defensive at all, but Carrie has Sleep Touch.
Sleep Touch.
On the character that was going to be doing the damage. He wakes up, though. We're running low on nukes. Okay, Carrie's down.
Carrie's down, but as you did point out, we are running low on the nukes, and that's really... That is supposed to be Will's advantage, and if we've already run out of our advantage approaching Kraken 2, we're in problem town.
Well, what I meant to say was nukes are low on mono, but Gills, I believe, still has 6, so maybe mono just turns into the fade or the fast caster.
Maybe.
We'll see. But just to recap, co-op tournament, it's a Lua script that connects 2 players together so that when one player picks up a key item or lights an orb, it shares it with
Carry first spell
partner.
nuke.
Uh-oh.
Just want to get that out there real quick.
And Tarnin's through, and he's got life 2, so good to see that nuke. At least that's one off the table.
Tarnin doesn't have life 2. He never went back to Elfland after class change. And he doesn't have life 1 either. I think life 1 was an option somewhere. Uh-oh.
Well, there's your first misstep, I think, because life 2 was certainly learnable.
We got heals, we can recover, but missing that red mage is a big deal.
I mean, if you're Tarnin, you've got to hope for something nasty to slow up Will, but even then, that means you have to go through it. And Will's better equipped to make a second dive through, so...
Willcleosis pulling Kraken 2. Let's open. Nuke, nuke, defense, and a fast. Kraken opens with Ice 2.
That's
Nuke
interesting.
pops off. 103, bad roll. Defense lands. Fast lands. Last nuke. 272. We're at 300 damage so far. Let's go again. We're out of nukes on mono. We're using light 3 on Mage R. Light 2 happens. Second red mage goes down. Nuke comes out. 185 terminated. Paper. Kraken 2.
Oh, Tarnin gets Kraken 2 down. Seconds later, we are neck and neck. But we're not on the same encounter table. Tarnin takes 4 worms, but gets away quickly.
I think both the wonderful fans here and Will and Tarnin are on their feet because, believe it or not, these two actually stand up when they race. They don't actually sit down, so that's hour and a half of being on your feet. Oh,
Tiamat 2 engage. We got the fast landing, temper landing, defense landing. One hit takes down a red mage.
Ouch.
Let's go with temper. Let's go with temper. Swing the Mazza. 9 hits, 1147. That's some power. 3 hits, 166. That's not going to slow that knight down. Let's try lightning 3. 38 damage. Doesn't matter because we're just trying to kill it. 9 hits, 1183. Down goes Tiamat.
That
Tarnin's
Earth
still in the
check
fight.
is paying off huge for Will.
Tarnin down to just his knights.
Will getting a little bit disoriented there.
And he's got life 2 to bring up his characters. Will's looking pretty strong here. I hate to say it, but Earth 1 check for the Mazza is really what put a huge gap in between, because Tarnin closed that gap very well.
Crack out of Tiamat 2 takes out one of the knights. It's just a solo knight.
Oh no.
Bane misses. Blizzard does nothing. Swing, 4 hits, 172. This is a lot slower fight. But he gets through.
Put the Vorpal on. You have no power, but Vorpal over the Excal. I think even Tarnin agrees with that.
We got to. You're right. We have to at this point. We load up on defense. We just defense 3, hope there's nothing, and swing. Willcleosis taking on Chaos. Defense,
Chaos.
Tempers.
Doesn't hit hard
Let's
at
go with
all.
more Tempers. Let's go with Cure 4. Let's go with more defenses. Cure 4 lands. Temper up. Defense up. Chaos swings. Not enough to kill even the weaker red mage. Let's go with Temper. Let's go with Temper and swing. Temper lands. Swing. 9 hits, 1737.
Well,
This
this
is
isn't
gonna be
going to
quick.
last too long.
Nope. Swing next. 8 hits, 1659. Down goes Chaos.
GG.
Willcleosis finishes with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 27 minutes, and 35 seconds. GG.
What a
Tarnin right
raid.
behind him. Solo Knight up to bat.
I don't
Chaos
know
strike
how
in
much health
first.
that Chaos had. It was somewhere between 2,000 and 3,800.
Tarnin gets punched twice, down to 182, but he gets the third defense up. Let's try Cure 3. Punching's gonna miss. Cure 3 lands.
Did he switch to Vorpal? He did.
Switch to Vorpal. 4 hits, 147. Chaos punches again. Chaos punches again. This might be a melee Chaos. 4 hits, 4 damage, not
No
helping.
crits.
Punch, miss. Swing. 3 hits, 98. Swing. 4 hits, 183. Punch, miss. Punch, miss. We have not seen a single non-melee thing out of Chaos. 4 hits, 104. The chipping continues. Let's swing again. 4 hits, 65. Gotta keep going. Punch, miss. Swing. 3 hits, 9 damage. We're heading in the wrong direction. Let's put some oomph into it. 4 hits, 7 damage. Still the wrong direction.
4 hits with no crits. Unlucky with the Vorpal.
4 hits, 79. We're getting there. We are gonna get there. 4 hits, 137. Chaos continuing punches, but not hitting anything. 4 hits, 4 damage. Miss. Swing. 3 hits, 98. Continue on. Gotta keep swinging. 4 hits, 183. Still punching,
We
missing.
might be seeing what Meridian and them found out just a few days ago, a 3-turn loop. I need to see. No, it's not. We
No,
were
it's
close to
not.
it, though.
It's not an RNG loop.
We found out that there is a 3-turn RNG loop in the game, though.
We are getting some similar numbers now that I'm looking at this.
Mhm.
It might not be a 3-turn loop, but it seems to be a loop. 4 hits, 79 sounds familiar. I saw 3 hits, 9, 4 hits, 7, 4 hits, 137. This is a loop. We're gonna get there.
There's
It's
the
gonna
4 for 4.
It's gonna take us a minute. We're gonna brew a pot of coffee.
3.
3 hits, 98. Gotta keep going. 4 hits, 183. I think we're gonna get the bad one soon. 4 hits, 104. Not yet. Keep going. Punches miss. Swing. 4 hits, 65. Punch miss. 3 hits, 9. I've lost count, but I think we're somewhere around the 1400 damage mark. 4 hits, 7. Punch, miss. Swing. 4 hits, 79. Gotta keep going. 4 hits, 137. Terminated. Tarnin takes down Chaos.
GG.
With
And I think
official
it might
SRL
be
time. 1 hour, 30 minutes, 15 seconds. GG.
The solo clear for Tarnin. What a hero. Holy...
Sometimes it's not about finishing first. Sometimes it's about finishing best.
Mm-hmm.
And taking that solo knight all the way to the end, he's won my heart.
Let's get these two in here for some interviews. I already sent out the request.
Let's see if we can get Will an invite here. All right, toss it
What
out
a
to him. Hopefully he'll
raise.
get that in a second. So yeah, it certainly wasn't the 3-round crit loop or RNG loop that we thought it was, but we did find out not too long ago that there is more than just the 1-round loop, and it certainly looked like we were going that way, but not quite.
So official times for both, 1:27:35 for Will, 1:30:15 for Tarnin. Only 3 minutes. So
Willcleosis joins us in chat here. GG Will, first and foremost.
Thank you.
And I think my first question has to be the top question of the night here is, why did you choose to copy Moist Mogwai and check out Earth?
It was actually part of the reason that I did it, but it was the early warp. The early warp, and I was going to do it, and that's something I've had in the bag of tricks for a while. It's something that's been talked about, and that secret's out. So I'm going to do it now, and it worked. But I don't want anyone to know that I'm going to do that again. And I might do it again, I might not, that sort of thing. But yeah, and I didn't even see the Mazmoon. I looked down, I couldn't type anything on my computer because my emulator setup, there's something wrong with it. I don't know what it is. And if I hit a keyboard button other than my soft and hard resets, the game would freeze and it would reset my controls. So actually during the chaos fight, I typed out .done and it froze my game. And so I couldn't write anything down on my notepad that I usually do, that I've been doing since December. And so I had to write everything in red Sharpie marker that I found. Barely. Gaia says geezer or something like that in my notes. And that's why I couldn't find gold bracelets. I think they were in Melmon, but I never wrote it down. And I got lucky to find the pro rings towards the end. But yeah, the Earth play I wanted to make based upon having warp, and I was in the area right there. And I said, you know what, I could use a couple bucks because I wanted to get gold bracelets and pro rings should they come up soon, and maybe that gets something to sell, an opal bracelet, or excuse me, opal gauntlet, I'm not Minochi, or something like that.
Tarnin joins us in chat. GG Tarnin with the Vorpal kill.
Thanks.
So how'd you feel about that seed? It seemed like one of the easier ones, which can sometimes stumble a few runners.
Yeah, so 3 things, I think. Thing 1, the early game, I got tripped up, I think, by bad luck. I don't know, I need to watch back, see if Will hit the same. Just a lot of status effects, a lot of stone that drained my... getting turned to stone that drained my money a lot. Felt like my early game was really, really slow, and so I felt kind of behind the whole race. Then, yeah, everything kind of just landed, like the two loose landed right there where they were. I went on that giant fetch quest chain that ended up with a troll ruby, so that was a ton of fun. My routing was not as good as I had wished that it had been. But like I knew it was going to be a close race either way. I opened too many chests as well.
I gave it back to you. I had a great early game, Tarnin, and I gave it back to you because I forgot about the ship being loose. And so I started digging for the cube, and of course I never went to the original Fane, and I'd forgotten about the vendor item. So I dug all of ice, I went and turned in the ruby, and I started doing this and this until I looked at my screen and I realized, wait a second, I'm missing the cube, but I'm also missing the bottle, and I haven't been there and I haven't found the vendor. So I did give some of it back.
Yeah, I almost walked down to what ended up, what we knew was going to be Gaia, and then I'm like, oh wait, but what if the bottle is the thing in ice? So I like left and went and dug ice first, and if I had just like gone with my original play, that would have been another like minute. It was, the third thing that I want to say is I want to like go through and count the number of full rounds that my whole party failed to run, because I think it was over 12. And that was painful.
I was aware of that in my practice this morning, and so what I would do is, if you rewatch it, Tarnin, thanks Fizzlebeef, sorry to cut you off, sir. What I do is throughout the match, I go to run, but I'll throw out a nuke and I'll throw out one lightning 3 because I just kept failing to run last game against Tristal and in my practice this morning.
What was your party today?
Triple red.
Triple red. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured that you would be on. Can I ask now, because I've been curious all week, like what was your line? What was the Willcleosis special for playing against me?
My angle was that your coaches were going to send you to Mirage Tower ASAP as soon as it was available.
Oh, they tried to get you to.
Yeah, I know they did. So I was going to try to do that, but I did Marsh very late to get the chime. I went there shortly thereafter, but at that point, I was ready to dance. So
yeah, if you did Marsh late, that also would have helped you early. Oh man, you were probably in the air like 10 minutes ahead of me, weren't you?
We'll have to ask the boys about that
roughly,
one.
Yeah, it was a roughly 8 to 10 minute difference on getting in the air. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Awesome. GG, Will. What level were you at the end?
26 on 2 characters. I think 17 on the other 2.
Nice. What'd you get your levels on, or just general world stuff?
The whole way, I did what I've done the last 2 matches, walk through the lava to release 2 characters because I had 2 weapons.
Yeah.
And let go of those 2, and I was going to take the Agamas for a few more fights. I usually do about 8 to 10, maybe even a dozen, but it took 2 rounds to take out the Agamas. Like, with Mazmoon and...
Oh, you had Mazza. Where was Mazza?
I made an Earth play on you, too.
Where on Earth was it?
In the top first floor.
Yeah, I never check those. I mean, you know that if you've watched my videos, you know that I never check those.
It's fine. There was only also a ribbon there.
Yeah, and I think an ice sword or something was in there too, but I didn't need it at that point. And but I did it because I was in the area. I had warp. Essentially, that was what it was. But I wanted money in case it was, another max.
We were relatively money poor in the early game as well.
Yeah.
I tried selling the power stick, but it was not as powerful as it normally is. It was like 2K, I think, that I got out of it, and I'm like, that is not what I need. Because again, I kept getting turned to stone and wasting money on that.
Fizzle beef.
So, you talked about 2-man strats, and that's something that I kind of wanted to lead into a question for you. The last time I saw you play, you also brought out these 2-man strats, but at that time, I don't think you had Nuke and Life 2 to contend with. Did that at all influence your decision on trying to just level 2, rather than try and level all 4 to get more spell charges out of them?
I would have done the same thing that I did last time. Life 2 really didn't influence me. Life 1 was also in level 6 white magic, so I know I could have gotten that. But I had already known Life 2 was there, and I had to promote to get it, so I knew I had to get the tail. And that was a must. That was a requirement for me. But it really didn't influence me. That was my game plan. I've done it for 3 games in a row now, and that's seems to be working pretty well. I am 3-0.
Yeah, GG on 3-0. Man,
Thank you.
I am not envious of your pairing next round. Like, the 3-0 people are a terrifying group.
Yeah,
not that the 2-1s or the 1-2s aren't terrifying.
I've had this conversation with a few people. Phaconic, I think you were one of them. You've got the crab cakes, you've got the Edgeworth, Minochi 85. The one that actually scares me the most, and I told him this last night, is actually Shadow Walker. That guy's going to go far. Mm-hmm. He might go all the way to the finals. You heard it here first. My pick is still crab cakes, but watch out for Shadow Walker.
I've done 2 against Shadow Walker, and the one that I ran yesterday, he beat me by 18 minutes. Like, yeah, he's fast.
He's gonna be a real threat. He's the one that actually scares me the most. Now, I have a lot of data and information on both Edgeworth and Crab Cakes, and I've got a plan for those 2, and everyone beats Minochi, so that shouldn't be too bad. But in the conversation that I had, I think it was you, Falconic, and I think maybe a couple other people as well, if you want to compete in this tournament, which apparently I'm going to be doing, you're going to have to go through them, and you're going to have to go through them eventually. And I can't control who, anyone plays, and, let's do it, let's have a good time, and whatever happens, it's going to be a blast.
Yeah. Yeah, this was a fun match. I've been looking forward to this match, ever since we rolled it. You've been permuting through my head. I can't wait to go back and watch it. Comms folk, was it at all good to watch?
Well, I want to lead this into another question aimed at you, Tarnin.
Oh no.
So, you were the first person to hit key item go mode. And I want to say that you hit it probably 5 to 10 minutes before Will did because of his aforementioned forgetting about Lefane.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise me. I hit it really early, and then...
You opened a lot of boxes after that. What were you looking for?
I was looking for one of the 2 following Mazza. I don't know why. I had it in my head that both my red mages were going to die, and then Chaos was going to have a lot of hit points. Inconceivable that happened. And I didn't want to be in a situation where I was swinging Excal or Vorpal without temper charges, which
Right.
is what ended up happening.
I don't
We
believe
had a-
either of our runners found Bonk, so
No. We had a great match last night. Contender for match of the year between
yeah.
Falconic and Spellzap. Wow, gosh, I watched it twice. It was outstanding.
It's
And-
the best match I've ever watched.
Yeah, and
Dear,
I thought,
dear kindly viewers, go watch that immediately after this.
Yeah.
Now, go watch
And-
the Shadow Walker match and watch this.
and I was on the call for that, and I watched very intently, obviously. And what happened was, Falconic was on the Bridge of Destiny as Spellzap was entering the Temple of Fiends Revisited. And I'm like, well, Spellzap's game to win, but I never said it. Because I know how Falconic plays. And like I said, I rewatched that match twice, and I rewatched Falconic's run at the end, and I saw what he did. And I said, you know what? If I'm going to go 3-0, and if I'm going to beat someone who is like as equally... Because me and Tarnin, we're like equal. I mean, one wrong way,
I really
you're
think
done.
Today was a coin flip.
Yeah, and I do too. And I think that was kind of the consensus. And I'm like, if I can play like that towards the end, and that's what I did in my practices, I might have to do it. And that's how I played, very differently than normal.
Well, it paid off, clearly, right?
So, I actually have a couple questions for you all. First of all, congratulations, Will. My question for you, and then I have one question for Tarnin and one question for both of you. What were you thinking when you were going into Volcano Long Hallway looking for something? Because to me, it just felt like you were already pretty much in go mode. What was possibly there?
In the I think that was the time where I forgot the ship was loose, because I knew the loot was loose. I had that. So I had that ingrained in my mind, but I'd forgotten that I got in the ship early and it was loose. And for the two loose, that made it. So I was looking for the cube. I think that... Does that answer your question? Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. Tarnin, congratulations on finishing. Thank you.
Thanks,
Tell
Tyler.
me something. After that Tia 2 fight, what was going through your mind? Like, you had nothing left but one fighter. How were you feeling at that point?
Well, so the first thing the thing that was going through my mind was, how do I rearrange my gear to have the best chance of getting through a chaos? Because I am certain that Will is in Topher currently, and if I pound reset like my instinct is telling me to, he's gonna beat me by 30 seconds. Now, little did I know he was, a minute, 2 minutes in front of me instead of behind me. But that's what was going through my mind. But, like, if I had not been playing against Will, if I had been playing against someone who I felt confident that I had the win on, I would have been like, I know the data in here, I know what the Fiend's absorb, evade, hit points are, I can effectively utilize my spells to get through this Topher very, very quickly again, pound, reset, go through, but I didn't think that I had the time, and, well, I was right. But then, when I saw Will done as I was approaching Chaos, I'm like, alright, screw it, I'm gonna put Vorpal on and see how this Chaos fight goes with just Vorpal in defense.
So we're accepting applications. We can do it verbal. We can do this right now, live on Twitch, live on Speed Gaming 3. Tarnin, are you interested in joining the Game Changers and Team Vorpal?
Well, given the number of 3 hits, 3 damage I saw, I think I'm gonna have to pass this time, Will.
It depends on if you believe. You must believe, my friend.
Oh, I don't believe. I do not believe in the Vorpal's power at all.
Much
That's a good
respect.
answer, Tarnin. Stay
Much
strong.
respect.
Said the man
And,
that killed Chaos with the Vorpal.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Well, congratulations on your Vorpal kill, and the invitation remains, and no matter what, much respect.
Thanks, man.
So, something else I was actually thinking for both of you.
Yeah.
What were you feeling this particular seed, knowing some of the stuff that you've gone through in the past weeks? Did this seed, like, give you any point of, like, a sense of false security? Was it just feeling too easy?
No.
I'd love to tackle that. Exactly the opposite. I know as a runner where my strengths are and where my weaknesses are, and if things are simple and straightforward, my opponent has an advantage. It doesn't matter who my opponent is, right? Like, a duckling who started playing a week ago, if things are simple and straightforward, they're in this game. Whereas, like, the more convoluted and garbage fire things are, the better I tend to do.
Yeah, not a chance. Playing Tarnin, I said it earlier, we were very, very evenly matched. I studied Tarnin's matches, I went right to them. His match with Trenton, and his match with Spellzap. And I knew that in a knockdown drag-out, which this was, it was straightforward. I felt well, and I felt 60-40 that I could take it. However, this is a 50-50 coin flip, and I knew it. and I knew that if I played my game and I played well and I didn't forget things, which I still did, I had a very good shot to win. But either way, I did think it was going to be very close, and of course it was.
Yeah.
And I guess
Yeah, I think like identical seed on a different day, this could have gone, me up by 2 minutes, you up by 5 minutes, like
easily. Yeah. Oh yeah, no question.
I guess that would be a good lead into my final question.
When's the what now?
When's the rematch? I know we can't have it during Swiss, but I want to see you two go at it again because that was amazing.
Well, hopefully I make it. I mean, I'm hoping that I'll win one of the next 2 rounds, and then hopefully round of 16, me and Will can fight.
If we don't, if I make it to the round of 16, that'd be great. It'd be an honor. It's an honor to play anybody. Absolutely, yeah. It's an honor to get on a stage to have you 3, Lord Fizzleby, the elite, if you ask me, Falconic also the elite, and the Baroness of Team Warple Lyra to bring the show on. I know Caleb, thank you very much, Rayfates Caleb, rayfatescaleb.com for his podcast. The, if not, cooperative mode.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say.
Yeah.
If we do not meet in the round of 16 or 8, what I can tell you is the Tire Island Fire Department, engine number 9, will be taking on the Game Changers after this tournament's over in the co-op.
Yes. We have a flag and everything. I spent like 20 minutes on it. It's the best.
It's the best flag that's ever existed, if for any team ever.
Mm-hmm.
So, real quick, just to wrap it up, Will, with your 3rd win, you at the very least qualify for the play-in race. You got to feel pretty good about that. Tarnin, you just need one more win to get yourself there. I can't imagine you're not going to get there.
Oh, I can.
Possibly, if Will takes 2 losses in a row, which I doubt happens, but maybe the rematch is sooner than we think. Maybe it's in the play-in race.
Yeah, that could happen too. Nah, I'm worried about running into Fizzle next round, and he'll whoop me by 10 minutes.
We found out today that if you transfer a certain spell, you might do well against him. You'll get what we're talking about when you watch the VOD back.
Alrighty then.
Final thoughts for everyone here. Will, if you want to start us off.
I'm not sure. I've always wondered how the other players in the community takes me as when I have the controller in hand, and I'm pretty sure I know that. And if anyone because I'm a broadcast guy, I'm an entertainer, and that I think everyone takes me seriously. But when I put that headset down and I pick up the controller, I question whether or not anyone really does. And I sure hope they don't, because if you don't, I'm coming for you. And if you do, good on you, because I've got a plan and something's working. It can't be luck all the time. It just literally can't be from last year to this year. And just don't take me seriously. And I hope that no one else that continues, and no one else does. And thank you to the crew. The crew, great. And thank you to Speed Gaming.
Yeah, thanks crew, thanks everybody, thanks everyone who's watching. I can't wait to watch this back. Yeah, just a fun seed. I knew it was going to be tight. I'm glad that it was. I hope that it was half as good to watch as my anxiety during playing it was.
Fizzle, final thoughts.
Thank you to both of you for putting on just a real barn burner of a race. I enjoyed the entire thing from the booth, start to finish, and it was just a thrill to watch. Thank you to Speed Gaming for hosting us. Thank you to Moist Mogwai and Rafe Hates Caleb, trackers of the day. This was just incredible, and I can't wait to see everyone in week 4.
And Lyra.
I guess my final thoughts, besides thanking the 2 of you for being alongside me for this one, to just keep me on the straight and narrow. Special thanks to Momo and Caleb, our race streamer. Let's see. I believe that was Mr. Broadstone, Speed Gaming, Will and Tarnin for doing this. But most importantly, without our wonderful fans in the chat on YouTube, we wouldn't have as fun of a community as we do now. And I can express no words in any amount of gratitude. I appreciate you all. Thank you. Love you guys.
I can only back that up. Certainly want to thank Speed Gaming, Fizzle, Lyra for joining me in the booth here. We had Rafe Hates Caleb on the tracking, along with Moist Mogwai, who moved on to 1 and 2, got her first victory, first official SRL victory, by the way, earlier today. So congratulations to her as well.
GG Mo.
Yeah, GG to Mo for sure. Coming up tonight, you wanted another 2-0 versus 2-0. Somebody's O has got to go. It's going to be Sony Wrath 11 versus Shadow Walker.
I'm so hyped
7:30
for that
p.m.
match.
Eastern. On Speed Gaming 2, you're going to have a triple commentary team for that one as well. Cyclone GU, Chitin619, and Neon Gray, a voice we haven't heard in quite some time over here in these parts, with Howard Fellows tracking that one. So do not miss that match. Again, that's coming up at 7:30. Will, Tarnin, we certainly thank you guys for an amazing run. It felt really, really similar to Spellzap and myself yesterday, where Will entered, but Tarnin, you started closing floor after floor. You made it exciting, and I'm sure the fans appreciate it. But for now, we're going to go ahead and sign off, and we will catch you guys Speed Gaming 2, 7:30 p.m. We should also be doing the reveal match for Week 4 sometime tonight on Tristal MTG's channel. So pop into Discord and keep an eye out for when we will be doing that. But for Fizzle, for Lyra, for the runners, for the crew, we certainly thank you for joining us here, and we will catch you next time.
Game changers!